aggressiveness to Goodnight and force him backwards, but it's just Semantic and Chaos holding firm on those side lanes, and it's causing such a difficult problem.
Yeah, we're getting a lane swap here. So Tok now going up against Chaos on the right-hand side, because frankly, he can't deal with Semantic constantly interrupting his gentleman's duel in the middle part of the map. He's done it once more. Semantic wraps around. Now he's going to take a couple free pot shots at the safe, and we're already down to 63. Chaos gets the win there, and he doesn't even trade. So this is very scary. SK looking imperious.
Reconic is struggling in this spawn. They've got to try to get one of these lane takedowns. I like they're enforcing through there. The ego is a bit early, but Semantic just continues to punish it. Now IKS jumping in, getting some damage. EA, Semantic, everyone doing their bit. And SK Gaming will move on to the next round of the competition.
Eyes forward for SK Gaming. They weren't sure what would be standing in their way, or who would be standing in their way in this round of 16 match. But one thing was for sure, they had to win it, and they do it in style. Gotta give it to Tok, stood up there on the stage, a one-man army, literally. Teammates, of course, playing remotely. The amount of pressure he must feel was incredible. Honestly, really heartwarming to see him out there and the crowd get behind him. And we, of course, hope to see much more from this Reconic team in the future. But SK Gaming have just secured themselves a revenge match.
Yes, they have. I'm looking forward to that. But I've got to reiterate again what you just said. Like, I love to see the way that SK at the end there just really showing how much they value the matchup, and Tok on his own is always a tough thing. Some tears in the crowd, by the way, as well, because, you know, you gotta fight to win. You know, it's a competition, but it's definitely a tough thing when there's 3 versus 1 on the stage, and, you know, feel for Tok, massively so, but SK there just, you know, offering a bit of a, you know, few words and a shoulder as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Some respect here for SK Gaming, as the trip for Reconic to get here has been a tough one. Once again, representing their region, and their region should be proud. But speaking of regions, that EMEA one, they're looking pretty darn scary. There's a lot of storylines wrapped up in that next game on the lower side of the bracket, right? SK Gaming have a score to settle, as was Tri-Benet that eliminated them awful early on in last year's World Finals. Look, series where we're going to be frank here, not a ton to say about it. Very, very tough one for Reconic in general. Imp definitely getting pressured. The side lane pressure from whether it's Semantic or you know, Chaos in many of these maps, a little bit too much to deal with. I think the tone was set really early on there on Gold Arm Gulches. The Nani pick from Gear, really, really hard to handle.
Like I said before, you know, picking Piper first pick is a tough one. You know, you open up the doors to a lot of potential counters, and SK played that perfect. You know, Brawlball again over in just under 2 minutes. Yep. The entire set. I mean, that says so much. But going into Heist, they did bring the pace down a bit. They didn't like get too overconfident too soon. They just kept the control and they played it slow.
Короче, мы закончили катку уже. Посмотрел, и я дошел до почти до 700-ки. Завтра вот удару сегодня красавку получить. Сегодня я выбираю награды, которые мне забрали. Клик. Что будет мне делать?
Nap time, sleep for chance to dream.
Так.
You just wouldn't listen. People stay alive.
Так. Заходим, конечно. Да блин. Да, завтра будет такой же самый. Так. Школу плотно. Заходите. Все, потом. Просто на это. Ну, такой. Это, блядь, не рисунок. Покажу. Вот, можете. Да. Сейчас записывайте, вот это время все принимаю. Пожалуйста, друзья. Можете писать на паузу. И все. Ссылка такая. Вот это пока спи. Всем пока. Удачи.